What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how are we doing today?
Dude, well, technically I'm doing bad in a way because the Yankees lost the final two games of the series, Pat. But with that said, I'm doing great because I'm here with my boy Pat. And we came on here today. But first thing we pretty much said to each other was like, yo, Yankees may have lost a couple games, but we're on here to have a good time, and that's what we're gonna do today. I'm feeling good,
Yeah.
dude. How you?
Yeah, yeah, no, super disappointing the Yankees lost the last two games, the Orioles series after a nice start. We'll talk about that. I'm excited for today's episode, bro, because we have a lot of good stuff to talk about. And like we said, like even though the vibes are trending in the south direction, now starting today, bro, vibes are going straight up. Carlos Rodon's coming back. We have a lot of fun things to talk about. Let's ride, bro.
And also,
Before
dude,
we do
like I,
that,
I think about it. Foco, yes, in a second. I see you 2 times a week, Pat. And what if the Yankees were just bad all the time? Let's just say, for example, am I going to come on here with my best friend Pat, who I don't ever see in person? Me and Pat, we see each other maybe what 1 or 2 years, one or two times a year at most in person, possibly at a Yankee game.
probably, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to come on here and bullshit with my boy, talk a little bit. So
Well,
that's like I'm good
well,
vibes. Like I'm ready to hang out.
not only BS with each other, but we BS with you guys. We love you guys
We
more
do.
than
We
you could ever
really,
imagine.
really do. A lot of comments lately, dude, that are being like quite supportive. And I'd be lying if I didn't say it didn't tickle my heart. Did that come out right? I love you all. We got a community brewing.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
cool.
okay.
Before we get into anything, want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, FOCO. Use code Yankees Avenue at checkout. Save 15% off your order. They have some new All-Star merchandise that we'll show you guys in the middle of the episode, but stay tuned for that. Check out FOCO. Bang. Topic number one. We got to talk
I'm
about the
pissed I
Orioles.
forgot my robe, by the way. I'm so angry. I meant to wear it tonight, dude. I needed to wear a robe, and I left it in Hoboken.
You,
You can get one at
have you
Foco,
watched
though.
it?
No, I haven't. And another missed opportunity because I usually come home, my parents do my laundry, which would have been perfect. Could have washed my nice Foco robe so I'm looking all glistening on the show.
Okay.
But
All right,
I'm wearing this
cool.
ALDS shirt that I got with you, Pat. Yeah, let's talk ball. Go ahead.
Topic number one. The Yankees split the series with the Baltimore Orioles. I would say coming into the series.
I'm just showing my face of dread. Please continue.
Oh. Okay. I was a little bit concerned for a second. Coming into the series, I think we would have been satisfied with a split. But I think looking at how the first two games end up, then you lose the last two in devastating fashion. Then I think that it makes everything feel a little bit worse, just because like you have that sour taste in your mouth after the nice taste in your mouth for the first two games.
Yes.
How big of a missed opportunity are you viewing this series? A series that looked extremely winnable through the first two games. I mean, the Orioles didn't look impressive at all, right? Like I was looking at them and I was saying, how the hell is this a second place team?
Yep.
We were crushing their best relievers. We were looking like a really good team, feeling good about the New York Yankees, and then they collapse. So how big of a missed opportunity are you viewing this?
Dude, it's so funny you said that. I'm glad you did because I had the same exact thought. I remember it was 4th of July. I show up to the after the game two win, and I was saying to my boy Nelson after the two straight series, first two wins of the series, I was like, man, I don't want to be that guy again because I kind of did it with the Rays, who, mind you, are 17 and 15 since the start of June. Nobody's talking about that. But I said kind of the same thing of, dude, Orioles might be borderline fraudulent. They don't wow me. They have some nice pieces in their lineup, but their pitching is really nothing. And overall, they didn't impress me in the first two games. That is, and what really does suck is, yeah, those were probably two of the best wins all season. You had the Harrison Bader go ahead homer in
Yeah.
game one, and that overall was just a really really nice game because you had the electric jolt when they were down 3-0. Volpe goes deep, he stays hot. You have Higashioka right after that. They go back to back, end up tying on a wild pitch. The Bader homer, that was an awesome win. And a lot of classic pictures came out of that game, by the way. You know, when like there'll be a nice victory, a feel good victory, and it seems like the dopest pictures of all time come out that make you think, all right, this team might go to the World Series. It's pretty epic. That's how I felt, honestly, after game one. And then game two, you follow up with a very nice victory as well. Vibes are high. And then what really sucks is not so much game four, because Severino imploded. We'll talk about that. But game three, man, I think the real big blow was it Ian Hamilton in the ninth? That 2-run shot that he gave up that made it a 6-3 game. That was tough because I still felt that was a pretty winnable game. You know, they were fighting back. I believe Volpe homered in that one as well. Yeah, to the opposite field. They were within one, and then it ended up being 6-3, dropped it, and then the implosion. It sucks, dude, because the vibes were so high and they kind of came crashing down. We were 10 games over 500. Now we're back down to being 8 over. We're 48 and 80, 48 and 40. Not ideal, man. Obviously, just not ideal, especially considering that the Orioles are the team that's in front of us and we could have really gained some ground.
Yeah, and I think that this series was kind of a great representation of how we felt about the Yankees all season. And it's something I feel like I bring up every other episode at this point. It feels like the Yankees take 2 steps forward and then automatically 2 steps backwards, right? Like it
Mhm.
never feels like we're able to gain any sort of ground because once we start to feel good about this team, bang, we get shot with disappointment. It just feels like that every single time. One thing I will say though, and I think that this is finally like this feels like a big moment for all of us because everyone kind of knows me as like, ooh, Pat hates Volpe. I would like to officially announce I am a fan of Anthony Volpe.
Tell us
Now,
why, Pat.
some may be asking, oh, Pat, is it because he's been good lately? No, it is because bang, pop it up on the screen. He did the funniest thing I think ever in baseball history. They had the CPR stuff for Hope Week. This was a scene straight out of The Office. Bro. They're panning to like this woman doing the CPR, all normal. Bro, slow pan to Volpe, absolutely dogging the dummy, bro. Like that might be the way you actually do it. I don't know, but it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, and that made me a fan of Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, well, about fucking time, Pat. Sorry, Christina. Apparently that is the way you do it. I read all like you know, the people who are doctors, I guess, and nurses. They were saying he's the one who would save your life. If you need CPR,
Yeah,
you'd
but
want Volpe to do it because you have to go. Man, I
don't you
hope
break
people,
the
if you're
ribs
listening
though?
audio only, like you really do got to see the clip. But the way Volpe was doing it, he was slamming in the chest, and that's apparently how you revive somebody. That's when do you even need CPR? By the way, is that when you're choking or you don't have like you can't breathe?
No, no, that
Well, that's hard.
I'm
That's hard.
I don't I don't know.
I don't know either, but whatever. Anyways, back
No,
to the
but
Yankees.
what
I
I'm
think
saying is I think I'm no doctor. I know nothing about medical stuff. I think if you do it too hard, you could hurt their chest or their ribs or something.
I'm pretty sure a successful CPR largely results in breaking the ribs, actually.
Oh,
If
okay.
any
Well,
medical people are down in the comment section below,
let
please
us know.
do let us know.
Hit up your doctor friend, bro. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, that made me a fan of Volpe. Awesome, bro. He continues to rate. He continues to be a very rare bright spot in the Yankees lineup nowadays. Just the series as a whole. There's nothing I'm really taking away rather than like what we already know. We know Sevy sucks. We know the offense is inconsistent. We know that like the Yankees are just inconsistent as a whole. And I think this series was a perfect representation of the current state of this team.
yeah. Also, I'll give him a compliment. And of course, game four is taken out of this, but ultimately just the Sevy implosion. Once again, we'll talk about it later. I do want to give them the compliment of they kind of play up to their competition. They do. I feel like oftentimes when it's a big series, whether it's the Blue Jays or even the Astros in the past in the regular season, here at the Orioles or even against the Rays earlier in the year, it seems they turned something on, and that happened in the first 2 games. And even in game three, they were close, they were in it. That was a respectful baseball game. And that's something that's good. While they also seem to play down sometimes in competition, coming off of losing 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals. But I that's something I did notice that I want to point out. That's a good trade of this team, potentially. We'll see how it works out down the road. I
That's always been the case though. No, like this is kind of going back, but I'm just thinking about 2018. I don't know why this sticks in my head so much, but we had like a streak of games against like the Astros, Indians, whatever, like when they were all like top tier teams. And I'm pretty sure like we won every single one. Like it just feels like over the past couple years, the Yankees have always played up to competition and then struggled
Well,
against
they
the
were better
bad
teams,
teams.
though. I would say more so the last couple years. Like 2021, they played well against Houston, I believe, in the regular season, but it didn't mean
Something
anything
like
in the
that.
end.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna like celebrate too much about it. Just a little nice something I want to throw out there. I'll say on the concerning side, I'm really starting to get worried about Rizzo. I am. Hasn't homered now in 34 games, and there was a pitch that he missed. And the swing, you would think it looked good. It was that eighth inning flyout he had to right field. Kay got a little bit excited. I did too. I understand. But it was a pitch Rizzo always crushes, and the swing just looked off, man. He's been getting kind of on base over the last week. He actually does over his last, I think, entering Thursday night's game at least. He had an OBP over 400 in his last 7 games, but no homers in third. Like that's a lot now. It's past to
Yeah.
where I can say, all right, he's just going to come back. Like, and
I
this is
hope he's
another shitty
healthy.
situation too because you have to bank on him coming back because the Yankees aren't going to go out and get a first baseman. Kind of the way I felt about DJ for a while. Like DJ's going to be the starting third baseman in October no matter what. I think we're getting away from that with how bad he's been. But there's no world where the Yankees don't have Anthony Rizzo as their starting first baseman. So we better figure it out because that's a major. Obviously, it's a major problem. This isn't breaking news, but that's kind of my main negative takeaway, honestly, from this is like Rizzo may be fucked. And it was that one swing that I saw that cemented that for me, that this is okay. No, this is actually a problem. Maybe not just a short term. This is past IL rust now. This is a month.
Well, but that's the thing. I don't think it's even IL rust. I think he's probably just not healthy, right? Like, I think that there's a huge possibility. Like, I'm sure that they've done like every test in the book to make sure that he's okay, but I don't think that there's any coincidence that bang Tatis runs into his neck slash head and Rizzo's not the same for the rest of the season. Like, I don't think that there's a coincidence there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to shout out Gleyber Torres, who had a nice 2-run shot to begin the game in game 2. But also, how about that? I mean, we got a comment because, if he got thrown out, we'd be mentioning it and say it was a really bad play. Scoring from first on that, he does. I know what boom means, man. He has these little instincts that sometimes really do work for him. And probably more often than not, we, of course, just realize the bad ones, so we don't notice them most of the time. But we've seen things like that before with Gleyber. It happened in 2021 where he just does these erotic, weird things in the base pass that sometimes do work. And because this time did,
Erotic?
erratic, not erotic,
Yeah. No,
erratic.
okay. Go
Sorry,
on.
dude. I was at I drove past a store today. It was called what was it called? It was an adult video store, not Peeping Tom. It was something similar. That's why it's in my head.
Did
Anyways,
you go in?
no, I want to, just to like, same way you go into a museum just to check it out and see like how crazy shit is, not for my own personal enjoyment or satisfaction. Also, why would I rent a video? There's the internet, bruh. Anyways, I just want to shout Gleyber Torres out for that.
Yeah, okay. A lot of people kind of came at me because I kind of said like one of the bro, like every dog has his day. I would say more times than not, Glaber makes these decisions on the base pass and they don't work out. Am I wrong? I
I
think that I think it's a problem that like Glaber kind of just he does whatever he wants because most of the time like that's not going to fly in a postseason scenario, right? And I think like those are some things that can make or break your season, bro. If we're in a wild card series and you lose a game by 1 run because Glaber has a base running mistake, that those are things that can end your season. So to because also let's not forget if Cedric Mullins has an arm and he throws that ball home rather than lobbing it into second, that's a very
Well,
close
that's what
play. The
Glaber
play
picked up
before
on,
he's
though, is that
thrown
he
out.
was lobbing it. And that's the thing. It can, if you make that decision to go, you absolutely have to make it.
But that's what I'm saying. And running through the third base coach's sign, it's a risky thing to do. So I'm just saying, shout out to Glaber for the heads up play. But I think like it's just it. I don't. A lot of people were using this as like to escape the narrative. Oh, look, Glaber isn't lazy, whatever. I don't think this has anything to do with him being lazy. I think it's just like what we always go back to, and I think it's the baseball IQ is severely lacking. And we see like these lackadaisical plays that make me question like whether or not his brain is on the field with him or if it's just like the monkeys that are clapping.
I think he just has a weird style of play. Because, I mean, if you're going to talk about high IQ, that technically goes down as a high IQ play. And the reason I bring it up is because we would criticize him if he got out. And him scoring there, and you'll see it defensively as well, too. I think it's the same thing with the base running as in fielding, to where it's, I don't know if it's mental lapse or if it's, his style of play, to where he just is a weird dude on the field. He doesn't play the way other players do. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, though, it's going to be magnified more than the positive, of course. Like, that's what we're going to notice more.
Yeah.
Like, our outrage towards if he got out compared to the positivity we have him being safe, which I don't think you really have, it seems. But you're going to notice the worst a lot more. So I'm just saying, when he does do something good like that, I want to point it out. Plus the fact he had that 2-run homer, which was huge. Like, I love that, dude. You have a big win, an electric, thrilling win with the Bader homer, and then you come out right away the next day, 2-run shot. That was a big homer. And now Gleyber Torres, if he's going to start getting back on track offensively, I can compliment that he's having a nice season. A nice season. A nice season.
Sure. Cool.
He's a nice
You want to get
player.
in topic?
He's a nice. No. Gleyber's such a dude. He's the perfect guy to, I think, describe as a nice player. He's a nice player.
He's a nice
Gleyber.
player.
He's a nice player.
I know, but he's a nice player that like I find myself getting annoyed by like way too often.
Let's get annoyed by him when he annoys us next. Right now, he gets a pass. He did good this weekend. Why do I do that? I just automatically call the last 3 days, no matter what day of the week it is. The last 3 days to me is the weekend. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is the weekend.
In the summer, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And I had been to the beach the last 3 days. Do I look tan?
And it was 4th of July on Tuesday, so that kind of felt like a Friday.
Which is throwing me off because, that's exactly it then, especially this week. It makes sense. But it's weird because now we're recording this Thursday night. I feel like I'm coming off a weekend. Although I was working, but it's still weekend type vibes because I was, living it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now we got the weekend
Yep.
again.
At the adult film store. Topic number 2, Dan. Let's get into some positive vibes. Carlos Rodon makes his Yankees debut tonight. We gave away tickets to that game. Hopefully, like it's not one of the giveaway games because the past 3 giveaway games we've done, they've been complete blowouts. So
Are we sure we
hopefully
didn't give tickets away tonight instead of tomorrow?
I had to question
Tonight
it, but
isn't
yeah, no,
Thursday.
it's tonight. It's Friday night. Against the Chicago Cubs, facing off against Jameson Tyone, who's having a horrible season with the Cubs. He's one of the highest ERAs in baseball.
Got his
But
bag though.
I think, bro, we are looking at tonight as potentially a turning point in the Yankee season. Carlos Rodon is the Yankees gave him that massive contract for a reason, right? They signed him to be their number 2 behind Garrett Cole. And I think that he can step on the mound tonight and change the vibes entirely. Like almost, I could say that an amazing start by Carlos Rodon tonight. Let's say he gives you 5 or 6 shutout innings and the Yankees win like 8-0. I think that it could give me equivalent good feelings about this team that the Domingo Perfect game gave me, bro. Just because like I need some reason to be happy about this team. We need some sort of tide change, moving in the right direction, heading into the All-Star break. I don't want to be going into the All-Star break with sad vibes, being like, oh, Rodon came back, gave up 12 earned runs in his first start. Sevy sucks. Everything's going south. I don't want to have those vibes. I want Carlos Rodon to go out there, shove, prove why he's the pitcher that the Yankees gave all that money to. At this point, whatever, like it's July and he's making his debut. I don't care. Just stay healthy for the rest of the season. Pitch like an absolute dog, like we know that you're capable of. Give us some energy, give us some emotion, and lead us to the postseason.
Fire me up. Fantastic by you all around. I'm with you. So I think, but I think what's big is though, not just him pitching well. I need some energy tomorrow. I want whether it's him striking at the side at some point or even the final strikeout of his, and he probably is only going to go. I haven't heard word on the exact pitch count, but I assume we might see 4. If you get 5 innings out of Carlos Rodon tomorrow, that might be best case scenario. But I want him to finish strong and come off the mound like pumping his fists or screaming. Dude, all we hear about this guy is that he's arguably like the most competitive pitcher in baseball. And, we know all the numbers about how good he is. Yankees, gave him 161 for a reason. 2021, that's really when he turned things around. And what's really funky, I feel like some people forget about this, that he was non-tendered after 2020 with the White Sox. And he came up as a pretty damn big prospect, first round pick, 3rd overall pick, actually, back in 2014. Anyways, dude was non-tendered after 2020. 2021, back with the White Sox, 2.37 ERA. 2022, 2.88 ERA. No pitcher had a higher K per 9 from 21 to 22. Also, he's a good ass fastball pitcher, dude. And that's something, it's more so the vibe surrounding Carlos Rodon, because we know how good of a pitcher is. He's one of the best in baseball. But when you have a good, dominant fastball first pitcher, we now have another, it's a Cole night. Now it's, we have a Rodon night. And we get that tonight, Friday night. And yeah, dude, just vibes-wise, I think it's a big season changer. Of course, it's not going to fix the offense, nothing like that. It's a name, though, a big name.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
and I think the key here is really going to be health, dude. If Rodon comes back and gives us 3 starts and goes back on the IL, like we're gonna have a serious problem. But
Then we're talking
as of
Carl
right now,
Pavano.
yeah, then we're talking serious issues. But I'm not going to cross that bridge right now because like the only thing we're looking at is a healthy Rodon, right? He had 3 healthy rehab starts. Everything went smoothly when I thought it would go otherwise. So at this point, we just got to buckle in, see how he does, and hopefully like we could carry like some good energy into the All-Star break.
Dude, it went incredibly smoothly, honestly. If you look at where we were a month and a half ago when we heard, what was it? Probably, started June, maybe end of May, where we got the news that it's a chronic condition. Yeah. And there was just a couple funky quotes that for the past, even optimistic people like me, like I was kind of concerned at one point. I'd be like, dude, is this guy ever going to pitch at all this year? Going from that to how well his rehab has gone and how good he apparently feels, the fastball is there, all the stuff is apparently there. He looks like Carlos Rodon. To now, the way I see it, kind of a good thing. We could be in a better spot right now, but in the end, we're going to get a fresh Carlos Rodon. While the team is still in a playoff position spot, a fresh Carlos Rodon, that might be this might have been a big blessing in disguise. Because now, if he does stay healthy the rest of the way, no risk of burnout. That's going to be a big problem with the not just this year, but like the whole contract. Like Rodon has a big injury history. So if we maybe got all that out of the way, at least for this year, it's huge. It's huge. I think it actually was a blessing in disguise, maybe.
Yeah, no, I do think it's awesome, and I'm very much looking forward to his debut tonight. Hopefully he shoves. It's also kind of a
prediction.
Oh, I was gonna say it's kind of ironic. It's Sevy bobblehead night.
Dude, so many
Kind of
comments on
psychotic.
Yanks have before. I don't know if I just found it weird, but kind of funny. They were like, after I like, the post game, Sevy imploded, blah blah blah. Somebody goes, people are gonna do some weird things with his bobblehead tomorrow. What do you think that person meant? Because I just watched a episode of The Haunted on Netflix about a voodoo doll witch, and I'm starting to believe it's legit. I don't want people to do anything with Luis Severino's bobblehead. So if you're getting one, treat it nicely. And by the way, you know what though? I'll save this for question 4. Are you freaked out now, Pat, that I brought up a voodoo doll? Do you have a bad
No,
history
I'm
with
just
voodoo dolls?
confused. I'm a little confused, but it's fine.
Somebody commented saying they're
Final.
going to do weird things with Severino's bobblehead. What do you think that means? What weird things can you do with a bobblehead?
Why
I'm
didn't
sure
you
they
reply and
exist.
ask?
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll ask him
Thank
right
you.
now.
Okay, please. In the meantime, I'll give you my prediction for how I think Rodon's first start's gonna go. I think we're gonna see him go 5, 1 earned run, and 6 strikeouts, and I think I'll be satisfied with that. Just don't
How many
implode.
innings you
Like
say?
5. But that's just all I'm asking is for Carlos Rodon not to implode tonight, and I think I'm feeling good about him. Like, give me less than 3 earned runs, and we're cruising.
He got 40 likes too. That's hilarious.
Oh,
All right. Like, what will they do? What should I say? Like, what do you even mean?
no, just say what would you do with it?
Okay, what? No, I'm gonna say, what are people going to do with it? 40 likes that comment got. That means a surplus of people are.
Is that on Twitter or Threads?
No, that's on my Yankees Avenue post game on Instagram. I'm very
Oh,
excited to talk Threads with you later, though.
we'll
My
talk
final
later.
line prediction, I'll go with the 5 innings as well, and I'm gonna go 5 shutout. That's just who I am, bro. That's the way I roll.
I like
5
it.
shutout, and I think he's gonna have. I think we'll have 6 strikeouts with
How many hit by pitches?
one walk, no hit by pitches. Come on, what the hell? Also, by the way, fuck Brandon Hyde. He's such a hard ass. Did you see at the end of the game, dude?
Yeah.
You know what actually bothered me the most? And I hate Robbie Ray. I'm not a big fan of, but I came to his defense that one time. Do you remember? I think it was last year or a couple years ago. He was just screaming at him. He was like, "Get your bitch ass back in the dog." I remember from that moment forward, I have forever hated Brandon Hyde because he just comes off like one of those dudes that needs to like scream to prove how tough he is. And he did that again tonight in a 14-0 fucking game over some BS. He has one of those faces you just want to. I know when I watch that punch back later. Yo, admit that punch looked actually pretty cool. That looked like I actually just beat the shit out of somebody watching this, which I would never do, by the way, unless you're Hoodie Maven.
Okay, before we get into topic number 3, want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Fogo.
Yes.
Dan, we have some really exciting news. Today, Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. If you're watching this afterwards, it's already out. They're dropping their annual MLB All-Star Bobbles of Parade collection. This one's actually really dope because they're like all-star themed bobbleheads. Dan, we don't have ours yet. They're still in the mail. But if you guys order it right now using code Yankees Avenue, you'll save 15% off. Also, bro, there's only 144 available, and they're not pre-orders. So if you order it today, it's going to ship out ASAP. So maybe you'll have it even before the All-Star game.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that. There's only 144 available, huh?
Only 144.
I'm going to stop shaking my ball below the desk. That looked a little funky, didn't it? Go get yourself a bobblehead. Go get yourself something else, too. You can get yourself a nice robe like I was talking about before. Some nice wall art that Pat finally took the tag off of last week. Thank God. Some dope apparel. Some dope footwear. Dude, gas is apparently back in the air this most recent weekend. So if you need to get a mask, something cool, anything with the Yankee logo on it, they probably have it. If you're down on the Yankees for some reason, which I don't really know why, it's only July 6th. They're 8 games over 500 in a playoff spot. We're fine. There's other stuff for you as well. If you're a Jets fan, if you're a Knicks fan, yeah, what are you doing? What just fell off, huh? You just break Judge again?
The bat comes on and off.
Oh, yeah, I know it comes on and off, dude. I know how FOCO works. Yankees Avenue, that's the code. How much percentage do you get off, Pat? Because I always seem to forget it.
15%.
15%
Isn't this
off.
a dope ass bobblehead?
And what's messed up about it too, I'm just gonna let him know, Pat. Yeah,
you
no,
don't have
sick.
it. Yeah.
No, I don't have it. I have one with him and Roger Maris though. When they first hit us up, Foco, Pat actually wanted the percentage off to be 10, and I was like, no, man, give him 15. Give him 15, bro. Come on, let's do him up real good. And of course, they listened to me. Thank God, 15% off with code Yankees Avenue. That's a lie, by the way.
But yeah, Dan, let's get into topic number 3 here. This one is kind of a bummer.
Oh, great.
We'll touch on
awesome.
Really quick. Jimmy Cordero suspended for the rest of the season. For domestic violence, we don't know the details because with the new whatever it's called, the new agreement between the Players Association and MLB, they don't have to release any details. So I don't even think Aaron Boone knows because I'm
No.
pretty sure they asked him and he's like, I don't know, but hopefully he gets the help that he needs and progresses as a human being. And I think this is just extremely frustrating, right? We had this same conversation when Domingo threw the perfect game, and it's just aggravating that like it feels like it's a recurring thing on the Yankees at this point, right? It's like in the past, what, 5 years, we've had three domestic abusers on the team. And I think
Yeah.
we're looking at it. Jimmy Cordero, he's not really a key piece of this team. And I think there shouldn't really be a world where he comes back as a New York Yankee.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's
I don't think it happens. And yeah, I mean, I assume this is all true, which it almost definitely probably is, with considering how quickly he accepted the suspension. Dude's a piece of shit. Domestic violence is bad. Don't do it. If you do, you're a piece of shit, loser, pussy. That's obvious. We all know that. So screw you, Jimmy Cordero. This is very unfortunate. And yeah, dude, I mean, I guess you could say we did have three because you had Chapman, and they're pretty much almost just as much at fault for that because they knew about it and then acquired him.
yeah.
Herman, yeah, now Cordero. It's an easy, just get the hell out of here. You can't do it yet. When a player goes on the restricted list, you have to wait till the time is up. So everybody calling for him to be released now, that's not possible, can't happen. But with Herman, people are going to feel about this how they will. Herman, there's still upside in him
There's
to
still
where if
value
you're going to
here.
bring a player back that did something like this, Herman would be one of those that you do in this case. Cordero, I mean, he was a nice piece of the pen. And obviously, this is a far removed issue. Like, it's frustrating that we lose him. He had a 3.86 ERA, did some pretty good work for us, but also it's not like
It's
he's
not a
Garrett
huge
Cole. He's
loss.
not Clay Holmes. You just cut loose with the dude. I always thought the Yankees needed to add a couple more relievers at the deadline. Maybe need a starter now, too. Bottom line is they were always going to add arms. He wasn't a high end piece of the pen. So, baseball wise, it's not the worst thing in the world. You're just a piece of shit, clearly.
Yeah, no, it sucks to see, but what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just.
And
It's not like the Yankees could have done anything to prevent it. You know what I mean? Like it's just
right. And I'm just suggesting
tough.
now, because people get people in the comments. I don't give a shit about all of it. Like, that'll say, oh, you don't know exactly if it's true or not, which, listen, I don't automatically always believe everybody, but chances are the dude accepted the suspension right away. Boone, he let him know a couple days ahead of time that this happened. And there's going to be some shit that goes down and it'll be handed in suspension. He accepts. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm innocent in a case like this, there's no chance in any hell that I just say, yeah, take the
It's
suspension,
just
even though I'm
annoying,
innocent. Like,
dude.
he obviously did something here. So I don't feel to like assume I'm just jumping the gun. Like no, we pretty much know the dude did something. You don't know exactly what happened. We won't probably ever find out what happened, but it's not really worth stressing over. You just get rid of
Yeah,
it.
it's just dumb. Like I really hope that this is like the last time the Yankees have to deal with something like this because it's like thankfully, like we said, he's not that big of a piece of the team, so it's not like a huge distraction. It's not a huge loss. But if he was a big piece of the team, the Yankees would be in trouble. But thankfully,
Don't
it's
get
not.
it, man.
Jimmy Cordero,
All these people that
you
just
are
do
no longer New York
stupid
Yankee.
shit, bro. Like, you were, especially Cordero, man. I mean, you're coming off like your career this was a make or break year for you. We didn't know if you're going to be in the pen. You're coming off a shitty year with the White Sox. You come
Yep.
up, you're having a good season with the Yankees. You're a pretty big piece of the bullpen for part of the year. Throw it all away. And now you're done, dude. You're done. No team, I don't think, will sign him. Some reliever
Probably not.
that's 30 years old. I mean,
It's like a Roberto Ozuna kind of thing, and Ozuna had a lot more talent than Cordero.
yeah, I forget what Ozuna had some other shit too. He actually Ozuna was one of the ones that surprised me. I thought he would have came back, but he's even past just this in general. He apparently is not a good dude. Like, that's always been the
Yeah.
case with him. So whatever.
Oh
See you
well,
later.
let's get to some better news with topic 4. Oh wait, just kidding. Let's talk about Luis Severino being the
I
worst pitcher on
forgot.
planet Earth.
I forgot what the topic was, so I actually had like a little puppy dog excitement. Like, yeah, let's go.
Then Luis Severino imploded once again on Thursday night. Gave up 7 runs. His season ERA is now 7.38, and that's in 9 starts. It's not even like we're looking at 3 starts where he had one bad clunker and it escalated. No, this is becoming a trend. I think Sevy has had more atrocious starts this season than good ones at this point. And now I think we kind of have to ask the question what the Yankees do with Luis Severino, right? Because now that Rodon's back, once Nestor comes back, I think Sevy's the odd man out. And it's kind of weird to say because we always looked at like Schmidt or Herman as one of those guys being the odd man out. No, right now it's Sevy. So Sevy kind of, we need to figure out what the Yankees are going to do with him, right? Because you're not trading him. I saw some people being like, oh, trade Sevy. It's not happening. Dude has absolutely zero value right now, and he's a free agent at the end of the season. No point in trading him for cash considerations at this point. Um, I think what the Yankees should do with him, shoot him over the bullpen, bro. This is not the first time that we saw Sevy have insane struggles as a starting pitcher. Same thing happened in 2016, right? He was coming off a great rookie year. Maybe 2016 was a rookie year, you know what I mean? But he
2015
debuted in
rookie year, then
2015.
2016 is the year you're talking about. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, but 2015, he looked really good in his debut, and then 2016 rolls around, struggles as a starter mightily. They move him to the bullpen, changes his career. Right, he becomes an absolute stud reliever. In 2017, moves back to the rotation, whatever. Same thing happened. 21, he comes back from injury, reliever, really good, then go back to starter. I think Luis Severino, he might not want to do this because there isn't really much money on the free agent market for relievers. There's not much money on the market for him right now as a starter anyway.
Hmm.
Send him over to the bullpen, bro. Maybe he revamps himself. Now with Cordero gone, the Yankees could maybe use another reliever out there. So maybe Sevy stuff will play up as a 1-2 inning guy. I don't know. But at this point, it can't hurt because he's just not succeeding as a starting pitcher. So I wouldn't hate to see a move to the bullpen for Luis Severino.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the bullpen that's a backup plan that I think ultimately would work. So you could go that route. Transition should be pretty easy. Talked about it a little bit last week, but the fastball still looks pretty decent. I mean, you getting it up to 90. I think maybe even gone up to 99 today if my vision was correct. Just has to figure out a second pitch. If he does that, he'll be able to get away with 1 or 2 innings in the bullpen. And yeah, 2021, he was good out of there. He was also good last year, though, as a starter in 2022. So with that said, I think we might also just be looking at a totally different Severino. Like, I don't know if just because he pitched well the pen 2 years ago, he will this year, but safe to assume that like he might be able to figure it out, better chance figuring it out there than the starting rotation. What's concerning though for me is if you do make him a reliever, all right, what's your playoff rotation now? You're looking at Cole, Rodon, Herman, Nestor, and then if you need a fifth starter, which you probably would, the Yankees did last year. That's why they had to start Tyone. They had to start Tyone.
Well, that's just because of the rain out.
Was that what it was?
I'm pretty sure it was because of the rain out.
Okay, but even so, let's see. If you have a 4-man rotation in the playoffs, are we? I feel good about Herman, but I will say I don't feel good about Herman as I did going into the year, thinking we're going to get like another good year of Luis Severino. So with that being said, kind of going back to the conversation of last week, you may see the Yankees get a starting pitcher. I think. You know what I think it might
I wouldn't
be?
hate it.
The Padres are selling. Michael Wacha is having a great year. Am I thrilled by it? Is he a Garrett Cole or a Carlos Rodon? Is he a Luis Severino at his peak? No. He's an ERA under 3. He's had a resurgent year last year. I would not be shocked if the Yankees go out and get Michael Wacha. I actually feel quite firmly about that.
I like that. I actually really like
Yeah,
that.
to be there.
And
I think what
no,
he
I
would
was gonna
be. Go on. Yeah, sorry.
no, I was gonna
Enforce
say
my
just
point.
because it's like I'm looking at Waka as like a sneaky little pickup, right? And also a guy who has AL East experience, right? Pretty sure he was on that 2021 Red Sox team that made it to the ALCS. He was on the Rays last year,
And he
maybe.
was good. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll pull
but
up his
he has
stats here.
experience pitching in the AL East, experience pitching in the postseason. I do think that it wouldn't be the end of the world if the Yankees didn't get another starter, but if they were to do so, bro, give me a package. Michael Waka, Juan Soto, make it happen.
All right, we're really talking. I think it's not the end of the world, no, because also in the end, if you need to, you could also the Yankees would be able to figure it out with the bullpen game. Now, I'd feel a lot more confident this year going like as it was a couple years ago. Still wouldn't be ideal. If you were to get Waka, you wouldn't have to give up all that much. He's signed through this year, 8-2 and 15 starts, 2.84 ERA. And yeah, last year with the Red Sox was 11-2 with a 3.32. So he's kind of figured things back out. Once again, would it save the Yankee rotation? Not that it needs saving, but it'd be a nice piece. What are you smiling at?
No, I just you're very, very happy about Michael Waka.
Well,
And I
I'm just
respect it.
continuing the conversation, but point is, I think the Yankees go out and get a starter now with Luis Severino
I
being this bad, which is a
I
very
respect it.
unideal. That's not a good thing because every asset should be going towards the offense. We need a left fielder. I think we need to go at a third baseman as well, a reliever or two, and now maybe a starting pitcher. That's 5 key assets of a team that we're gonna have to give up prospect capital for, which is not
But
ideal.
we need a
So I'm
left
not
fielder
exactly thrilled
so
about it.
bad.
I'm more so thrilled that I think I'm going to be right nailing this pick that the Yankees are going to get Michael Wacha.
I'm gonna be honest, like looking at Sevy this season and seeing just how bad he's been, and bro, it's a contract year for him, right? And now we could be looking at the end of his Yankees career in a matter of months. And I think we kind of have to ask the question, like, is his Yankees career a bust, right? Because he came up as kind of the big young arm that we were all waiting for. A lot of energy, a lot of potential, a lot of hope. And I'm gonna be honest, I think that we can say Luis Severino has been a bust.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you go back to where we were, whether it was 2015, 2017, 2018, or even just a couple of years ago, to where he's at now. The situation of Severino has been a bust. Not him himself, though. Like, I don't look at it as his fault. It's just been his career's almost been a tragedy, dude, in the baseball sense. Where he was and where he is now. I never would have guessed it, man. Even with how bad his second half was at the end of 2018, you get the 4-year deal. Luis Severino was our ace, man. Was our ace. And now to have a 6.30 ERA, it's more so just the injuries for me, to be honest, which what makes his career so disappointing. Like, this year is this year. He's gone. And I think the
Yeah.
Yankees, Max Mann has tweeted this out, and I agree. I think I may have said it before. Way better of a chance, and I think a pretty solid chance. Frankie Montas is brought back on a 1-year prove-it deal. No
Oh, I
chance
forgot
Luis
he
Severino is.
existed.
Yeah, what?
I forgot Montas even
Yeah.
existed.
Yeah, I think he gets brought back. Severino, no chance. He's going to get a 1-year deal, maybe 10 to 15 million for some other team, and I'm sure he'll do well. But as for the Yankee career, man,
With like the Cubs, bro.
it kind of, yeah, dude, I was actually kind of thinking the Cubs too, or like the White Sox or something. It kind of perfectly encapsulates what the baby bombers were. A lot of potential. Shit
A
goes
failure.
down, some unfortunate circumstances. In the end, you're quite disappointed with what turned out to be. And that's Luis Severino, which really is tough, man. I mean, seeing him get booed today, that was horrible. He was getting loudly
Yeah.
booed, and rightfully so, but it's tough to see Sevy like that. Because that's just not
Yeah.
who he was, man. As recent
No,
as
it
last year.
sucks.
He was that dog last year, Severino was. Not anymore.
Yeah. I mean, moment of silence for Sevy, actually.
I don't want to pronounce him dead though. He might just be dead as a starter. Like, that might
His
just be
Yankees
the
career
issue.
might be dead.
Well, he could figure
I
it out in
don't
the
think
pen.
there's any hope.
He could figure it out in the pen. Let's hope. I really do believe that.
We'll see. We'll see. Topic number 5. Before we get into topic number 6, with this 6-topic episode, kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
Jake Bauers heading to the IL with a bruised rotator cuff. Dan, I'm gonna say this, and only this. If the Yankees do not use this as the perfect way to call up Estevan Florial once and for all, there's serious issues within the organization. Now, let me just also say, this does not mean that the Yankees do not need to go out and desperately get a left fielder. I'm sorry, Jake Bauers. Like, this just might be a great thing for the Yankees, because Jake Bauers, personally, I didn't think was the answer for the rest of the season in left field. I just didn't. I want someone out there who's gonna be that guy, can provide me decent defense and a solid bat. And bro, I can't watch Oswaldo Cabrera in the outfield anymore. He's not a major league baseball player. He's an Oakland Athletic. I will not be surprised. Yo, this might bite me in the end. Oswaldo might not even be in the league in 3 years, bro. If the dude didn't have a smile and a cute personality, he would be in single A right now.
Oh,
I
stop.
no, okay, in all seriousness, I can't watch Oswaldo out there anymore. He's absolutely putrid. I'd like to see Florial get a little bit of a shot here, because it's not like the Yankees have like anyone else to really call on. So give me
An
some
actual
Florial, bro.
shot, too. It's driving me
Yeah,
more and more crazy because I heard my boys say it tonight. Like, oh, Florial will come up and he'll just be a bust again and not prove that he can play in the big leagues. He's never really gotten 2 straight weeks of being an everyday player for the Yankees. Now's the time. There's no excuse not to. He just hit his 21st homer of the year. Kind of know how good he's doing, but I'll run through it again. 295 average, 391 OBP, a slugging percentage over 600, has a 992 OPS in 66 games. And guess what, Pat? Guess what? He can catch the ball, dude. He can catch the ball. The man will be able to play. Bro, I think we got a little too ahead of ourselves with the IKF train. And not that we ever promoted his defense as being good, but just in terms of his role as a utility player. No, we did it. No. I didn't say I did either. I'm just saying IKF being this great utility man is a little bit of a stretch when he can't catch a ball in left field. That was a really, really bad defensive series from
Do
the
you
Yankees
not
in
see
left
him
field.
making these jumping plays, dude?
Dude, the one that he had, that was purely just like, I don't want my back to get smashed, so let me jump up and protect myself, which is fine. But, Kay gets really excited, which I love you, Michael Kay. It's all good. I would love to see somebody be able to catch a ball in left field. And, dude, that catch by Bauers, which, sure, Bauers to me was never the answer at left field. This has nothing to do with, like, the Yankees needing a left fielder or not. That was the case whether he's healthy or he's not. Yo, that Bauers basket catch, which he did heckingly hold on to, one of the ugliest catches I've ever seen in my life. I'm done with that in left field, just in terms of not being able to have somebody that you can rely on. And Florial actually is able to catch the ball. Not going to be the best defensive left fielder in the world, but he can hold his own. I'm pretty sure he still would grade The scouts grade him as like a solid, serviceable MLB outfielder. And with the
Yeah,
fact that he has slugging 600 in AAA, it's not that crazy of an idea. Just call the man up. You need an outfielder. Call the dude that has 21 homers in 66 games.
yeah, and to what you said to start off your point there, I'm tired of people acting like Florial sucks, and every time he comes up, he's not good. He's never really gotten that chance. Like,
Never.
you know how we gave Volpe 3 months, and he went through extreme struggles, and then he finally came through
Well,
like 3 months in. Like, I know it's a different situation because Volpe's like a top prospect in the league, but to
compared
see
to
Florial
Waldo.
come up for to see Florial come up for a week and not really do too well, and that's what you're using to say that he sucks. It's blasphemous, bro. So to call him a quadruple A player right now is dumb. And I really, really, really hope that he comes up and he has like uh like 3 to 4 at bats a day, bro. Like I don't want to see Billy McKinney. Shout out to Billy McKinney. He's been nice coming back to the Yankees, but I don't want to see Billy McKinney getting playing time over Florial. If Florial gets called up, bro, he shouldn't be riding the bench. If he gets called up, he should be your everyday left fielder.
Yeah, until you get somebody, he's not going to be the answer or nothing. But yo, you want to know?
No,
You want to know his longest stretch of games played for the Yankees? His
can
longest
I
stretch,
guess?
yes.
Let's say no more than 2 weeks.
So 2021, July 20th to July 24th, he played 5 games in a row. Outside of that,
Wow.
he played July 29th, 28th, and 29th. So he had a nice 7 game stretch in 10 games within 10 days is the most
And
chance
bro,
Florial has ever gotten. And I think the better comparison, forget Volpe, it's more so Waldo. I mean, you gave Waldo essentially 2 months as Yankees' everyday left fielder. Can you give Florial 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month?
Waldo's still getting playing time, dude. Like,
At least, I mean, Waldo has the defensive versatility technically, but
but
yeah,
he's no, no, but he's not good. Like that's one thing that I
he's
don't
got a
like.
nice
Like,
arm.
especially, but when we bring it up about like IKF too, like, oh, the defensive versatility, he plays anywhere the Yankees want to put him. I don't care if you're not good where we put you. You know what I mean? Like, sure, he can play center field in the middle of June against the Royals, but they would be dumb to put him in there in a big game. And like, it scares me that they think like, yo, IKF is usable in center field. He's not.
Well,
So I don't.
it'd be serviceable if he was hitting. That's the thing. I mean, in the end, like I
Well,
can talk
IKF
about
isn't.
Florial being able to. No, I'm talking about Waldo, but
Oh,
with Florial now. To be fair to Waldo, he does have +2 defensive runs saved in the outfield this year. He's -1 outs above average, so we can say he's right around league average. The infield, though, has kind of been an issue for him. -2 defensive runs saved at second base, -1 at third base, -1 at shortstop. But also with Florial, same thing. If he comes up and doesn't hit, then we're in the same boat. I mean, no matter how good you play defense, and this is what I ultimately mean. Like, I don't think he's going to come up and shock us. But if he can even provide a 750 OPS right now and catch the ball, that might be a pretty good thing until we can go out and upgrade at the deadline. Which
just
I
be
think,
Glaber
by the
Torres,
way,
bro.
huh?
Just be Glaber Torres.
That sounds insulting the way you say it.
How is that insulting? Just be a nice player.
I see what you're saying. Yes. Okay. I understand. By the way, I think the Yankees getting Cody Bellinger. That is my current pick. I
I
think
would
Cody
love
Bellinger,
that,
Heimer
bro.
Candelaria. Well, thinking one or two different things, but as of right now, I think we're headed for the top target being Belly, Candelario, and Michael Waka, baby.
We're
Just
gonna get Candelario and some random ass reliever from the Nationals, like
well, I'm down for
bro,
the random
someone no one's
relievers.
ever heard of.
Like,
Yeah,
dude, that guy the Yankees got today, what's his name again? Minowitz or something?
Matt might
Some bum off
Mishowitz
a
or
scrap
something.
heap. He'll probably like lead all relievers and strikeouts next year.
Oh yeah, for
You know?
sure.
Right.
Topic number 6. First time we're doing six
Yeah.
topics, I think. This is actually a really fun one. On Wednesday night, a new social media platform launched. It's called Threads by Instagram. It's Instagram's like version competitor now of Twitter. Dan, I know both you and I are super excited about it. Follow Yankees Avenue on Threads.
Yeah.
I'll give you my first impressions of it, and I guess you could kind of go off on yours afterwards. But I'm viewing it as like a very bare bones version of Twitter, right? Like it feels like Twitter, but without a lot of the features. It feels like it was rushed out a little bit just because like I guess Zuckerberg kind of saw like Twitter was down in the dumps, so they wanted to capitalize. Bro, the most insane like first day of growth in social media history. I think they have millions of signups
Yeah.
so far. I think that once they find a way to incorporate like a bunch of the features that we see on Twitter, DMs, an actual like better feed that's not just like a for you page, hashtags, just normal stuff like that, and they find a way to incorporate it in the actual Instagram app, this is going to dominate, bro. And one last thing I will say just about like the app itself, it reminds me so much of when Instagram implemented stories and basically killed off Snapchat. So if they play their cards right, I'm not going to say Twitter's going to get killed off because I still think like Twitter is like a cool platform, but they can seriously devalue Twitter just with threads.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be a lawsuit. I don't know if it's actually going to happen or not, but Elon, I
Yeah, I
guess,
saw it.
is suing Instagram for that, or Zuckerberg. I don't want them. The only thing I disagree with, I don't want them to make it a co-joined app. I really like they did their two separate things. That was the only thing I was worried about when I heard about it. But yo, dude, it's like crack when you hear like a new social media platform, especially one that you know is legit. This is going to stay around. This is, and for those who saw on Twitter, I pretty much announced my departure from Twitter today. And honestly, nothing to do with Elon, nothing even to do with the app. I actually haven't even noticed how bad Twitter's apparently gotten. I know there's been some changes in the whole uh, tweet limit not that you can see. That was a bunch of BS by him. But overall, it's really just because, and you can read my thread about it that I put out today. Yankees Twitter has gone to shit. I think majority of people on there, to be honest with you, are losers. A lot of great people that I love. Majority of you are watching this show probably, but the community just on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, awesome, fantastic, and I'm hoping that continues. Is the same deal like on Threads. But yeah, no, dude, I was pumped. Like my boy made one. I was like, yo, what is that? He says Threads. I'm like, yo, what the hell? Tells me all about it. And I'm like, yo, let me start one up. It's the easiest thing of all time. I sound like I'm advertising for it now. But if you don't have Threads, get on. Yo, you have an Instagram account?
This is actually a paid promotion.
Bro, honestly, they should just pay me like how much I'm talking about it. Dude, how easy was it to set up the account? You can import all your shit from fucking Instagram, bro. So right away, I have a Yankees Avenue account. I have my bio in there, and I see the
No, it's
zero
awesome.
followers, bro. We were talking about it a little bit before. 0 followers is like cracks, and it's like, yo, I have another legit pro like social media platform to be able to grow here. Yankees Av is already at 5K. I'm very happy about that. And dude, just good vibes. I feel like people are like, there's a good energy surrounding the whole thing. It's like the opposite of what Twitter has become, at least in the Yankee community over the last couple of years. And people are really getting
It's
on board.
nice. No, I agree. And I think you put out a thread where you kind of like made like, bro, I was a
I'm gonna
huge
read
fan of
through
it.
it.
And I actually haven't even told you. I was gonna tell you before the episode started, but I was like, no, I'm saving for the episode. I think everything that you worded was so perfectly, and I'm tired of having to like sit here and act like we love Yankees Twitter just because it's the Yankees fan base. And I'm so annoyed that Yankees Twitter, quote unquote, represents the Yankees fan base because I don't want to be a part of that, bro. Like, and I think for so long, me and you have both realized like it's turned to shit. And it's just an embarrassment to the New York Yankees. And it just feels like the people who are in that community like aren't necessarily like even Yankee fans. Like they're just looking to be Twitter celebrities. And
A lot
hopefully
of them,
on
yeah.
threads, like we can kind of go back to like those 2017, 2018 days where it's just like having fun watching baseball and you're not trying to be a damn celebrity, bro. You know what I
Dude,
mean? And
no,
that's
it's a
the whole
lot of
thing.
that, dude. It's a lot of that. Like, and I'm not saying these people don't have like a generic, vague Yankee fandom, but you can tell, man, the people that because Yankees are a big. I mean, I'm very grateful for is the fact that, dude, I happen to be a fan of like one of the most popular teams in sports. Because if I was a Reds fan, like, could I do Reds Avenue and like technically like live off of it or whatever? No, absolutely not. Like the Yankees
Yeah.
have a very like you can gain a following from being in this community, and people do take advantage. That was only just one of my reasons. I want to go through them all. Why Yankee Twitter sucks now. A piece by Dan Rourke. I just bulleted reasons. Every loss means the season is over. You guys know how I feel about this. Now, you can be upset. This isn't saying you can't be upset, but it seems like people don't even know how to enjoy baseball anymore, especially in the Yankees Twitter community. It got so miserable to where I wasn't even checking the app. I'm like officially off there now. Even games where, like, dude, Josh Donaldson hits a home run and people will be like upset about it. That's the kind of
I
vibe that I
know.
cannot stand, and it drives me insane. Hardly any civil conversation. Kind of aligns with the same thing I'm just saying, but very rarely do it feels like Twitter these days, at least just in the Yankee community, is filled with people that just want to like have gotcha moments. It's all filled with like quote tweeting saying, "Oh, your take is ridiculous. You're an idiot. You don't know ball." There's no actual like. When was the last time you had a true conversation on Twitter and not just going at somebody or not like responding to somebody who's trying to like say you're the dumbest baseball fan of all time. You don't know what you're talking about. And it's not like I'm saying this to Astros fans or talking to Astros fans about this. It's within the old Yankees community. People are just going at each other. I think that's whack. Full of people who just use the Yankees for clout. Talked about that. Lack of true diehards, especially intelligent ones like us. Just kidding. fake outrage, too many takes that don't feel real, very forced. This is something I notice a lot just on Twitter. I'm telling you, Instagram, YouTube is really not like this. But yeah, it just seems like people, they'll say stuff they don't truly believe because one, it may get clicks, or also they feel that's how they're supposed to feel. I can tell when people are trying to, whether it's like, it's more so leaning towards forcing being miserable, like, oh, being a Yankee fan is the worst thing in the world, which I understand being very upset about these things. But also, it's still, people make it like almost, they made it like a bad thing to root for your favorite team, it seems like over the last couple of years. Like to be excited of this team, to enjoy something that you've loved your entire life. Like if you're not total gung ho, this team sucks, everything is horrible, that like you're not being real. Do you know what I mean? And that's something that's
Yeah.
fucking pissed me off a lot. And also, not enough Marios, way too many Hoodie Mavens. And that pretty much sums up my entire thing here.
Shout out Mario,
I
by the
miss the
way.
good people.
Awesome dude.
I miss the good people. I miss people to talk to, people just watch Yankee baseball that live by this. Somebody else commented something that's real true. It's not just something you hop on and react to just for clout. Like, nah, bro, this is a lifestyle. Every game, every pitch, we're in it. And I like the term go down with the shit. If you're somebody that is going to go down with the ship of this Yankees team each and every single year, each and every night, like you're my people. But there's not a lot of that left on Yankees Twitter, which is why I'm on Threads now, motherfucker. Yankees Avenue, follow.
I like that, Dan. That was a nice
Also,
way to end the episode. And
I hope.
I will say, I know both you and I, we read through the comments, every comment of all these episodes, and I do think, I'm not just saying this, that like our audience is definitely like intelligent to the point where it's like it doesn't feel like the dweebs on Yankees Twitter that have like the most casual takes. It's like people, even if they seem to disagree with what we're saying, like it seems like they're able to counter back with like a paragraph long counterpoint as to why we're wrong. And I respect that, bro. And I think that
Yes.
that's going back to what we were saying, and that's what I want on Twitter, rather than just being called like a dumbass or you don't know what you're talking about or whatever. Like at the end of the day, like we're all watching baseball, we're all fans of the New York Yankees, we're all rooting for the same goal. Along the way, we might have differing opinions, right? Like I
Yeah.
might think Anthony Volpe's a bust, you might not. So we should be able to have like a civilized conversation and not being like called like stupid names just because we have different opinions on a baseball team. So that's why I appreciate like this platform so much. I appreciate our audience so much, just because I think like while we do like mess around and have a good time, like at the end of the day, we still do have like intelligent conversation about the New York freaking Yankees. So
Bro,
yeah,
absolutely.
I'm excited to see where Threads goes, and yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is like on Twitter, do they just lack like the nuance of how to talk to somebody and converse? Whereas like what you said on YouTube, like people would disagree with this, but they present it in like a normal way. Like, hey, you said this, but I actually think this, and that for these reasons. And you just have a normal conversation. You go back and forth. And that's something I enjoy so much. It almost gives me, it's so rare these days. Like, I feel like, at least on Twitter, to where when you do have it happen, a very rare exception where it does happen, it almost gives me nostalgia. Like, oh, this feels like the good old days. Just talking some ball, like shooting the shit. You don't get
Yeah,
that
I
as
mean,
much anymore on Twitter, whereas you do on YouTube and Instagram. So you know it still exists. And that's why, and people are saying, yo, because, I'm plugging it on Twitter saying, yo, follow me on Yankees Avenue, all this. And they're like, all right, you're going to promote this to Twitter who you're talking shit about. It's all going to be the same people that come over. That very well may be true. I mean, may come on here in a month and say, yo, Thread sucks. I'm kind of off. But for right now, it's like, it feels like a fresh, clean slate for Yankees Twitter,
it does.
just for all the good people to come over and just, because, dude, I don't fucking, like, it went for me to like, it got so bad to where I used to just say, yo, go fuck yourself to these people back in the day, because there were a few of them. But now it's everybody where I don't even have any interest in going on Twitter to respond, to tweet. Like, I've just lost interest to tweet.
Bro, you know what? You know what my final straw was? And I have no idea who posted this. If you're a nice person who posted this, cool. But I saw a tweet the other day where it was a picture of Garrett Cole from 2020 and a picture of Garrett Cole today. And it said, Garrett Cole has clearly gained weight since becoming a New York
All
Yankee.
right.
How does this make you feel? And bro, there was genuinely people responding to me like, oh, bro, the fact that someone took time out of their day to tweet about Garrett Cole's weight gain makes me sick, bro.
All right. I wouldn't have tweeted it, but that's my boy Mike Carbone, who is filled with great takes. He's a great dude. I've had takes before that, like, I'm sure he or you have said, like, that's dumb as hell. I don't agree with. Why would you even put that out there? I want to reinforce Mike's a good ass dude. He really, really is. And he's not just some, for those who saw that tweet, don't assume he's just some idiot. Like, he knows what he's talking about. And he technically is true. Garrett Cole's put on some weight. I wouldn't complain about it when he's, what, 8-2. The two might even win the American League Cy Young this year. It's working for him. I love the dad bod. But even to that, dude, it's, I don't know. I just feel like people need to learn how to
It
talk to each
just
other
doesn't feel
again.
like there's actual conversation. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, I don't want to open Twitter and like see people talking about Garrett Cole's weight. You know what I mean? Or like whatever.
Yeah.
It's just
And there's some good people on there. There is, but I like essentially announced like I'm part of Twitter today, which I always swore I would never do. So I guess this is my casual way of doing it. Because in a way, I do also hate the people that like, I mean, there's some exceptions. Like you do it cool, it's fine. But I would never want to be the guy that's like, announcement, I am leaving Twitter today because I am going through.
You said I do it?
No, I'm saying there's some people where it's
Oh,
fine. Like it makes sense to do it. Like if you're big enough to where you have to announce it, now I understand. But today I'm just saying with my like I feel like I'm done on Twitter, Pat. Like am I done? Like I don't
bro,
think
I'm
I'm
just to tie up this whole conversation. Like I'm tired of acting like, and I don't even think I act like it, but I feel like for the sake of the show, like we don't like call things out a lot of the times. But bro, I'm tired of acting like everybody's cool. Everything is this, everything is that, bro. Like there's some people that just are I don't want to be involved with. Like you know what I mean?
right. Now I think I see I'll call out people who are being a dick. I'll always call out people who are being a dick. But I also, if they're not
But
bothering
there's
anybody,
so
I'm
many
not
of
gonna
them, bro. One thing I also saw on Twitter the other day, bro. Some dude was coming at Brendan, loyal viewer of the show, Brendan, by the
love you,
way.
Brendan.
You have
You're one of the good
80,000.
ones, Brendan.
Like, bro, like people are just bro. It feels like bullies are on Twitter, bro. Like I've seen so many
Yeah.
cases of like people like ripping on the way people look
Weird.
or whatever about, bro. It's so weird. Like
Yeah.
if you go out of your way to bully another person on Twitter or any social media platform, you are a loser, bro. And like there's way too much of it. We're getting on a tangent now, but I think it's just social media as a whole. Like it's in such a dark place right now, and I think there's so much hatred in people, and they have the anonymity. Anonymity. I don't know what the word is
That's
of
the
like
wrong
being
guy.
behind a screen. They don't have to put their faces, their profile picture, and they're mean to other people. Like, bro, it's fucked up, bro.
Yeah,
And
and it just
it's
goes to
just
show once
it's
again,
annoying.
like we're here for different reasons. Then, like if that's what you're doing, like compared, like I'm here to simply to talk Yankees. Very rarely do I tweet something that's not about the Yankees. If I do, it's probably just about Elvis. But dude, I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and it comes to my mind. This is the last thing I'll say on it because she commented it today when I was putting out that whole like little rant thing or whatever. And it was that girl with the jersey, and I think I told you this a couple weeks ago who she got a jersey just getting
Yes.
into the Yankees. Like her boyfriend got her a jersey, had the name in the back, and instead of people celebrating, yo, new Yankee fans, she's getting into the community, like let's welcome her and all. What does she get? Like a bunch of shit about, oh, why'd you get a fake jersey? Return that jersey. Tell them to send it back. And it's like, bro, like what goes through your head when you're saying that? Like, nah, dude, we're as long as you root for the Yankees, and in the end, baseball in general, whatever. Like, this is all just one big grand community. Our section of it is the New York Yankees. Like, we're on the same side, bro. Now, there's some corny ass motherfuckers too that aren't necessarily bullies per se that are just annoying. Those people I leave to the side. I don't like go at them or nothing, but I am very much excited to potentially get away from them because it's in general, whether it's people that are just dicks or people that are just straight up annoying and cornballs, some of whom I've called out today. I hope to God I don't see them on threads back because that could be people bring up valid
is
points. Like
is
threads
that
could just
your
be Twitter month.
domain?
I have no idea. But for now, yo, can I show the people my Coke mountain?
Oh, brother.
Pat
Go
goes,
ahead.
yo, is that a Diet Coke? I'm like, a Diet Coke. Check it out, yo. I mean, come on. I got
At
some
least you
water
got
over
some
here as well.
water, yeah.
Yeah, I drink a lot of water. See, that's the thing. I do have balance. Like I drink like a gallon of water a day. I go to the gym. Now, your final prediction of the show, Pat. How long is this episode? Start to finish, not including our BS banter before recording.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I think this might be the first ever hour-long episode of the Yankees
No,
Avenue
I don't think
Show.
so. Also,
I
we
think it is.
overshoot it a lot sometimes. We'll over predict what we think
No,
what it
this
actually ends up
is.
being.
I really think it is.
All right, 56 minutes is my prediction. Socials, where can they find you, Pat?
Twitter, TikTok, @unhinged